Fair warning, if you are easily offended or like to twist facts, this is not the video for you. Let me state this now. This is not a political video. This is a video based on facts, cold hard facts, and it's a homage to a culture, to a history. With that said, I am Mr. Fan, and today we discuss the Greek pharaoh, Cleopatra. There is a new Netflix documentary coming out on May 10th covering Queen Cleopatra of Egypt. Now, based purely on the trailers, they portray her as a strong, powerful queen who used any means possible to rise in power, making her the last pharaoh of Egypt. That part is true. What is blatantly wrong is that Cleopatra has been blackwashed. Now, let me make this very, very clear right now. I'm not a fan of any form of racial washing, including whitewashing or even Asian washing. It is disrespectful to the culture and to the history of that person or that subject or that era. So let's make that very, very clear right now. In this video, I am not going to go over Cleopatra's life story. That video will be released next Wednesday on May 10th. Instead, I am going to pull up a few articles to shut down false narratives and uplift certain truths. Of course, I will provide links in the description for you to read yourselves. Okay, so this will be the first article we're looking at. Director of Netflix series starring a Black Cleopatra fires back at Egyptian backlash by Los Angeles Times. Now, before I dive more deeper into this article, let me just be upfront here. I'm not used to actually highlighting articles or fading out text that I don't deem necessary. So please bear that in mind. It is a skill that I have yet to acquire and a skill that I will acquire in the future. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into this article. All right, first good spot to start. After 300 years, surely we can safely say Cleopatra was Egyptian. She was no more Greek or Macedonian than Rita Wilson or Jennifer Aniston. Both are one generation from Greece. Filmmaker Tina Gharavi wrote in an essay for Variety. So Tina Gharavi, she is Egyptian herself, and I believe she was also the director of the Netflix series. So what she says here is that Cleopatra was Egyptian. Yes, she was, just as I am Asian American or someone is African American. She was born in Egypt. I am born in the United States. Therefore, I'm American. Therefore, she was Egyptian. If you want to go by that sense, you can use the term Greek-Egyptian. Because even though she's Egyptian, since she was born in the country of Egypt, the area of Egypt, she has Greek roots. Very, very important thing to keep in mind. She is Greek and Egyptian. Okay, so obviously the main contradiction with everything that's going on is the fact that they are blackwashing and stealing from Egypt's ancient history. I do agree with this. They have completely blackwashed Cleopatra. It is okay, as I mentioned, for you to admire Cleopatra because she is a strong, intelligent woman who rose through power, not because she inherited the throne, but because she took the throne. That's okay. What is not okay is to see her for what she is not. She is not African American in that sense. She's not black, is what I'm trying to say. Meaning she was light skinned, not black, pushing back against black Americans who have claimed that the Egyptian civilization is of black origin. Let's see. Said only Egyptian rulers known to have been black are the Kushite kings of the 25th dynasty. I don't know enough about that, so I'm not going to mention anything about that. But this next part, I am not a huge fan of. So most of what Netflix platform displays do not conform to Islamic and societal values and principles, especially Egyptian ones. Egyptian history recently included Islamic values. Ancient Egyptian history does not relate whatsoever in terms of Islamic values. So let's be very clear here. That's not a good argument. That's not a good point at all in this specific scenario about Cleopatra actually being Greek, being white. In terms of societal values and principles, yes, I agree. What's going on right now is Black Americans are blackwashing a white woman attempt to try to get more Black queens, more Black representation, which I respect, but do it the right way. Don't try to turn someone who's lightly pigmented and shifted just for your own narrative. That's just wrong. Why shouldn't Cleopatra be a melanated sister? Because she's not. And why do some people need Cleopatra to be white? It's not needing her to be white, it's the fact that she is white. It's the difference between, for example, the moon and the sun. You can call the moon the sun all you want, but at the end of the day, you're wrong. The moon is the moon, and the sun's the sun. It's never going to be the reverse of each other, no matter how much you want it to be. So that's just how it is. It's a fact, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Cleopatra is the last queen of a Greek-speaking dynasty founded by Alexander the Great, Macedonian's general Ptolemy. So it is confirmed that she is Macedonian or Greek on her father's side, but her maternal heritage is less clear because little is known about her birth mother's ethnic origin. Here's the thing: the Greek culture, ancient Greek culture, let me specify, were not the biggest fan of inbreeding. However, when Ptolemy declared himself Pharaoh, king of Egypt, he wanted to assimilate into the culture, which is a necessary thing to do in order for him to justify his rule over a different ethnic group. So, inbreeding, which was a common practice used by ancient Egyptian royal families, was adopted. That she is also Greek as a result of inbreeding. There is no mixed ethnicity in terms of Cleopatra being mixed with Black and Greek, who succeeded her father in 51 BC and ruled until her death in 30 BC amid the expansion of the Roman Empire. I will get into more detail next week with the video I'm releasing on Wednesday about Cleopatra's life. This part is kind of sort of accurate. The throne passed from her father to her brother, and she kind of co-shared power and over time used Julius Caesar, the dictator of Rome, to help her remove her brother from power to put herself in power. So this part is not fully correct. The 2005 HBO series Rome portrayed her one of the most intelligent, she was, sophisticated, yep, and powerful women in the world as a sleazy, dissipated drug addict. Yet Egypt didn't seem to mind. Okay, don't attack a whole nother country. You're just deflecting from the main issue here. You're trying to create a false narrative of what Cleopatra is. Cleopatra is white. She's Greek. There's no ethnic mixing there between Greek and Egyptian / Black or Kushite, modern Sudan. Um, in terms of the drug addict part, it wasn't necessarily that she was a drug addict. It's very prevalent throughout history that royalty and nobility engaged in many forms of hedonism. I know the Egyptians, they like to smoke the blue lotus plant a lot. That was their opioid of choice. So that part is not fully inaccurate. I'd say she did what basically nobility and royalty of that time did. Let's see, where was the outrage then? But portraying her as Black, well, you're completely flat out creating a lie. That's the problem here. Jada Pinkett Smith said that she wanted to find stories that would inspire her daughter Willow. We don't often get to see or hear stories about Black queens, and that was really important to me as well as for my daughter, and just for my community to be able to know those stories because there are tons of them. Yes, there are tons of them. You already use Queen Najinga. You could use Queen Amina of Zaria. My apologies for butchering that. Who ruled Nigeria in the late 1500s. Queen Kandake. who ruled the kingdom of Kush, or the great Queen Nandi, who was the real power behind King Shaka Zulu, who created the powerful Zulu land, Zulu nation. You have black queens, African American queens, to use them. Don't get desperate and create a lie. Let's see. Her ethnicity is not the focus of Queen Cleopatra, but we did intentionally decide to depict her of mixed ethnicities to reflect theories about Cleopatra's possible Egyptian ancestry and multicultural nature of ancient Egypt. Was ancient Egypt multicultural? Yes. But you said here her ethnicity is not the focus of Queen Cleopatra. Then why put her on a show labeled Black Queens? Or I think it's actually called African Queens. All I'm saying is accept the facts, accept the truth. You have every right to admire who you want to admire. Just do it based on the facts and the truth and the accomplishments of what a person does. Don't do so based on a lie. Don't allow this misinformation grab to continue. We've already had plenty of that from, well, that's a topic for another day. Now, in addition to the life story of Cleopatra, which I've been referencing that I will make, I will also start making videos on Black Queens, starting with Nandi Zulu. So please stay tuned for that. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.